at us.
Yo,
But think about it.
man,
In
listen.
2026, the calendar would be electronic, and we would be photoshopped,
Oh, you know what?
so
Yeah.
it wouldn't even be us.
I'll be
See?
all muscles and buff.
Exactly. It'd be like, yo, but like this calendar is AI. Yes, because it is the answer.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Yep. Happy holidays, brothers.
Happy
Yes.
holidays.
Yes,
Happy
definitely.
belated birthday to Kyle. I know we gave it to him in real life. We'll give it to him over the mic too.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Shout out to University of Buffalo.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Shout out to Nikki and Juvence. They got engaged.
No
That's
doubt.
family on my side. So showing love, showing love.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, you know
And
what?
the
Then?
Knicks won.
But you know what? I got to shout out Isaiah then. He graduated from Purdue a couple of months ago, and unlike
yes.
unlike the three of us, he graduated with honors.
Oh,
Go ahead.
He
Go
took
ahead,
he
sir.
took longer than the three of us, but he still. But I tell young people, the beautiful thing about degrees, they don't put start dates on them.
yeah.
And this
Yes.
Negro bowled the 214. The
Uh-oh.
other, like, he's into bowling heavy, and I was like,
Yeah. He got his
yo.
own ball yet? He got his own ball yet?
Yeah, my older brother gave him one of his bowling balls back in 24, and so he's been locked in. And I ain't bowled I never reached to anything, so I got to work on just being able to not get laughed at by him. So
Yeah. We have a good friend who remained nameless who kept talking junk. He bowls, but he's better than average, but he's nothing special. And he kept talking junk.
yeah,
And he kind of misogynistic. And I have a friend who's a monster bowling. She bowls like 214 would be a average game for her.
yeah.
And I tried to tell him,
Oh,
and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her."
oh well,
Man, she ducked in that dude.
caught that smoke.
Was I there for that one?
I think you would have.
That
Sir.
sounded familiar because
Yes,
my
yes.
man is seen salty all the time, so
Hey,
I can't remember which event made him salty.
hey,
Yeah, man.
there
He
you
just
go.
knew he was good.
Yeah, that's
So-
my father bowled for years. He used to be bowling leagues and all types of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, so did
He
my
had the
dad
shirt,
too.
the shirt and
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Shirt,
no doubt.
balls,
So
drinking.
Yeah, so-
all that.
everything that goes
So we-
along with it.
We're gonna start off with this little thing, just for a little bit of fun. Knicks win the NBA Cup.
Yeah,
We got a chip. We got a chip.
So they're not putting up a banner. Yes, no, maybe so. What you say, Kev?
I think they should put it up. This is the third NBA Cup. The Lakers put up their banner. The Milwaukee Bucks put up their banner. The Knicks should put up their banner. If it means something to the NBA, it should mean something. They should have to put it up.
What you think, Tim?
I agree. I agree solely on that premise. I understand the championship drought and them not wanting to overhype this because that's what their focus is on. But in our production meeting, Kev, both of you all brought up an amazing point. The Super Bowl wasn't always what we know the Super Bowl to be. So there has to be a beginning. The WNBA wasn't always what it's been fighting to be now. So I think if you're making this a thing and the NBA wants to make it a thing and the games have been good, I mean, and they beat a solid Spurs team to win it. I think they should put it up and let it be an entree to put up, the larger one. So maybe it's not the same size as a championship banner, but I think they should put it up.
Yeah. I think they should put it up because, like you said, Tim, in 40 years, the NBA Cup may be a
Huge.
really important milestone in the season. if you look at soccer, the FA Cup, during the season in soccer, there's about 3 separate things
Yeah.
in the Premier League other than winning the actual the overall season. I will say this though. I think this is a situation that is indicative of the world that we live in. If the Knicks would have put up a banner, people would have clowned them and they would have said, "You haven't won anything. You think that this is something, this isn't anything. You haven't won an NBA ring in 53 years." People gave the Lakers and Milwaukee grief over this. No one should say anything to the Lakers. Lakers have 17 chips. They should do whatever they want to do. They are the darlings, them in Boston. They can put up whatever they want.
Yeah.
They could put up dirty towels from practice.
They could put up triple double banners. Like
exactly.
Man. You know what? As you're talking now, I'm about to have a Reggie Jackson moment. You know what? The people that complain, they just losers. They never won anything. They don't know about winning, and that's why they feel that way. Because if you work hard, you should celebrate your accomplishments, and it's a way of life for these losers who complain about this. Think about it. If you had a child, you want to celebrate all the wins, all the victories. You got something in this grade. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's how you build. That's how you build people up. And the people that are on the opposite end of that, y'all are tearing things down. Y'all trying to destroy, man.
And winning in sports and achievement in sports is so few and far between. It's so rare. That's why I always hate the Stephen A. Smith take about, you're a garbage franchise. You haven't won a chip. Only one team wins a chip in all of these leagues, and there's 30 teams in most of these leagues. It's very hard to win a ring. It's very difficult to win a ring. And I think, like you said, Kev, people who really play sports understand that you do celebrate because it's hard. It's hard.
I mean, you and I had a conversation before. Like in football, I've had the chance to win 2 different championships to go as far as we could go. We didn't have state championships at the time, but state ranked teams. In track and field, I've won, through team championships and individuals, like multiple, more than 10 championships, whether it's county, section, placing as a team in the states and all types of things. And it's hard work. It's hard. It's hard. And when you get there, you should celebrate them.
But to the point, I think what you were saying, both of you all, the community in which you compete in, you make it what it is. Whether it's overblown, underblown, who cares?
Yeah.
In 1986, we was playing football.
Yeah.
On Banneker Field. And inside of Drew Hall, when you came walking back that Sunday afternoon with that victory, it made everything better.
Yeah,
you went to class different. I mean, so it is what it is. Now, was that a championship for us? Absolutely. But if you were not part of it, it's like, okay, that's on you. But it's about achieving. it's about competing. Yeah. And so I think, and then also it's not fair, I think, to rob the current players because of history.
Yeah,
there's no one on the court that's 53. You some of the people on the court, some of the players of the Knicks, I'm willing to say their parents aren't 53.
Yeah.
Like so you're telling me. And imagine if I'm that player that worked from the G League and had the 2-way contract and, really, I mean, everybody puts in work, but, the bench, the ground
like a Tyler Kolek.
That's like, you putting in that work just to be able to keep on the uniform.
Yep.
And you go through what you got to go through. You get through the East. And there was a lot of teams in the East they had to navigate through to get there. It's like, because play like this, ain't nobody tell them don't take that $500K.
That $530K.
Yeah.
And if you're Tyler Kolek, he made $2 million is his salary. So half of that goes to Uncle Sam. So you don't think that $500,000 or roughly 250, whatever he's gonna take home, 270.
Yeah.
You don't think he's gonna be happy over that? Man, listen.
Yep.
And to what you said, to your point, Tim, before we finish, about the people you compete with and that league, what matters to you when you talk about Banneker. I'm even thinking even further, Kev, when I was playing flag football all of those years. That mattered to us, man. We 25 years old, caring about going to work.
Yeah.
Work, got a sprained ankle, looking like you crazy, and we competing like, oh man, the playoffs is next week.
Yeah.
No doubt. And like you said, Tim, nobody cared about the Long Island Flag Football League, but everybody in the Long Island Flag Football League. So
this may not.
That's a great point you made.
This may not be Banner specific, but last year, Ohio State lost to Michigan, but won the national championship.
Yep. And
there was a senior class who won that chip last year, but if I'm not mistaken, because they had lost 4 years in a row. So you had a senior class potentially walking away with a ring, but hadn't beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Tell me that don't mean anything.
Yeah. Speaking of that, college football playoffs.
Let's get it.
I'm
here for it.
I had to leave last night, Tim. So tell me who won Oklahoma and Alabama, because I had to leave late.
Yeah.
And I was upset. But if your spouse needs you, you got to run out and go.
I'm roll tide. We still rolling. So
wow. What was the score?
34-27.
How did
24?
How did
34-24.
How did Oklahoma get up 17-0 and then in the blink of an eye 17-17? Once that happened, I was like, oh goodness.
Well, you I mean, and Kev.
Can someone else win other than Alabama? Like I texted you last night. Anybody else?
What are you telling me? They haven't won in a couple of years.
But they get so much credit. They get let in the playoff. They lose 2 games. Other teams lose 2 games. They be home. Alabama loses 2 games. They get in the playoffs.
Look at the 2 games they lost to.
Not just this year, last year too. They always get the Alabama pass.
But they show up in the playoffs, unlike Oklahoma, who's 0-5.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has never won a CFP game.
Wow.
But they was in
during the SEC now. Now they'll be recruiting those same kids.
No more Big 8.
Yeah, no more big slow.
But
bruising.
It is funny because even this morning, because the first game is Texas A&M in Miami, and it's in College Station, and college game day, people make signs and they take the time to read the signs. And the first sign that the camera zoomed in on, somebody was holding this huge sign and was like, "If Notre Dame had beat either one of us, they would be here."
Yeah.
Because Notre Dame lost to Miami and they lost to Texas A&M. So, but
and I felt bad for them, man, because they were in the polls. They were good until the last week. They did them.
But what I didn't like about them was the way that they was going at the ACC. Like, oh, you should have been.
They should get a heads up, Tim. That's kind of dirty to do that. That should have been done.
It's between if it's between Notre Dame and Miami, even though they played head to head. So if I'm the ACC commissioner, and I don't know what level of influence they have or whatever, am I going to lobby for a football team who is not a part of my conference over a football team who is?
Well, they are part of your conference.
No, they're not part of football.
It's not in football.
The other 24 sports added up don't make what football make. Come on now.
I just don't. All I'm saying is that if I'm Notre Dame, I don't like the fact that I've been ahead of you all season long, And then the last week when it's
Well,
time
that
for the
wasn't
play-
on the ACC.
No, but I'm saying
But they also took issue. They took issue with the committee, rightfully so. But they also took issue with the ACC, as if the ACC didn't ride for them the way they should. Now, meanwhile, and you was like, hey, they're part of the ACC, but not football. Last year in the championship game, Notre Dame lost to Ohio State. I believe their takeaway was somewhere around the neighborhood of 20 million. Because they are not football conference affiliated, that money went to their school.
good for them.
So then you
They
can't
got
have
the cachet to do it.
Yeah, but you
And
can't.
and I'm not going to blame them.
But
And
you
everybody
can't-
wants to
but-
blame
but you
them.
can't have it both ways.
But what I'm saying, Tim, is everybody wants to blame them over that.
It's not
Every
blaming.
one
It's
of
the
those
truth.
schools, every one of those schools
Would do it if they
would
could.
do it if they
Yeah.
could.
Okay, but yes, but and it's like you could do. They would do it if they could, but you can't have it both ways. You can't then be like, oh, I need the conference to ride for me. If then I'm like, yo, all this money is mine. So it's like,
Man,
yo, But next year, this won't be an issue because next year, if they're in the top 12, they'll be in. And then
Yeah.
also under next year's rules, a 5-loss Duke team would be in because they would be ACC
they were
champs.
ACC champs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like next year's rules. So
So I'm gonna ask Reggie Jacks because him playing football coming up from Warwick, I think he in his heart he's a group of 5 dude. You went from Warwick to Howard, so group of 5. How do you feel about Toledo and James Madison being in?
Toledo plays Ole Miss, Kev. James Madison plays Oregon.
Whew.
So they're playing Ole Miss is number 6, and and Oregon is number 5.
Yep.
From a fan perspective, I don't like it. Obviously, I would like Notre Dame or some of the other more teams in there. As a person from playing the sport, from the sports side of it, I totally I'm happy for them. It's great to be able to fight there, to be in that position. I think of it in terms of when I was in 9th grade. I ran track and field and a friend. I ran first season track and field. In the summertime, my friend's like, hey, I'm gonna run a Junior Olympics trials or nearby. It's like, all right, bet. I trained for like a week. I don't really know what I'm doing because I only ran track for 1 season. Train for a week, bam, run it. I make it to the regionals, which is in May. I'm like, oh, okay, it's over. I'm not going to get there. Another friend who made it, he's like, hey, my dad said he'll drive you up there. He actually called my parents to convince my parents, let me take Kevin up there. So we go up there. I run. I'm doing training again on my own. I don't talk to my coach or anything. There's no internet, so I don't really know what I'm doing.
You're a fool.
Yeah.
Don't tell his coach.
No sense at all, right? So then I run. I'm running like the semis. Now I'm running the trials, make it to the semis, running the semis, I make it to the finals. I'm like, oh, I could really make it. Get in the finals, boom, I'm out the blocks. I'm in the lead at like 10 meters. I'm in the lead at like 20 meters. In the lead at like 30 meters. Then everybody just passed me.
He keeps on passing me by.
I come in dead last.
Wow.
But I was there.
Yeah.
Now, I was so stupid, I didn't realize if I had trained and done a train, like, I really had potential, but I wasn't that bright. But, but yeah. So I think of it in terms of that. Even the fact that I got blown out,
I
enjoyed that experience.
Yeah.
And it's good for them.
Because there was probably hundreds, if not thousands, who would have loved to have finished 8th.
Yeah.
Because in order to finish 8th, you had to be at the starting line. So
yeah, so
I mean, I think football is a little different, but I like I want schools to have the opportunity and have the exposure. Otherwise, you just continue to have Oregons and Ole Misses and Notre Dames and Miami's represented opposed to these other schools. I mean, look at Gonzaga. And like I said, that is basketball and it's a little different. But Gonzaga went from a mid-major that did well in a couple of NCAA tournaments to essentially being a mid-major that is
The top mid-major.
not a mid-major anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
They're like
a
they
low
are
key, not so low key powerhouse.
they are a national powerhouse. They are.
So I mean, it's going to be good for them, even though the fact that they get blown out, they're going to get more people, better recruits, which can help to grow the team, which is
Because you can say I was in the playoffs.
yeah.
I was
So-
on national television.
So I mean, it's great for them. It's great for the school. Like like think about it. Every time Howard makes it to the NCAA in basketball, we always happy. We know the blowout is about to ensue.
Yeah, but even to your point, you said with the NCAA tournament, it's 68 teams versus 12, and the sport itself is different. That it would be, even though it did happen once with UMBC beating Virginia, I would say one of the group of five upsetting. If there's an upset today, to me that would be comparable to the 16 seed beating the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Butler almost won the national championship, man.
No, but I know, but
I'm just saying, like,
yeah. But I'm just saying, in a one game setting, that I mean, there's been teams, but when UMBC beat Virginia, like the world shook. It's like, what? That but then with football, there's just so many differences from just using Kev's example of like, I made it this far without coaching and training and so no matter what JMU has or Toledo has, they don't even have the facilities of in Oregon. Like, I mean, like Oregon's ridiculous. They'll probably have a new uniform just for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, James Madison's sports facilities are probably equal or maybe a little less than Oregon's regular general population student facilities.
Like the intramural facilities, like, but James Madison, to his credit, has definitely been on the come up. So then to your point, it's going to be great exposure. I just hope that it's competitive. I don't want to see just blowouts, because then I'm gonna turn to the NFL, because there's 2 NFL games today as well. So there's a lot of sports happening on this Saturday, December 20th.
I mean, none of us are bettors, but it's 21. James Madison is a 21-point underdog.
Yeah.
All right, Miami and Texas A&M. What you think? That's today also.
I'm always against Texas A&M. Anybody that plays Confederate cosplay, I hate. I'm always for Texas. I'm always against Texas A&M.
I would love for Miami to do a little something. Bring back
Confederate cosplay.
Yo.
So I don't even know.
I would love to bring back the spirit of the Canes from when we was coming up. we came up in the era where that U meant something. So when Bama's was coming off the plane with camouflage on. But nah, I would say that I want Miami to pull it off, and I think, and I know what you said about Notre Dame, and there's some validity, because somebody's always going to be left out. But if Miami wins, then you had Alabama go into Norman and win, and you had Miami go into College Station and win, then people need to be quiet.
Yeah.
For this year, just for the selection, not, you can always have your opinion, but so with versus if Miami go in there and get smoked, then the talking heads the articles will already be written. So, because that's what was happening at first when you left when Alabama was down 17-0. It was looking bad, because then it's like, okay, this is the same Alabama that lost to Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
And that pick six changed everything.
Wow.
So,
and the thing is, Alabama, in fairness, I did get on them, but when they lose 2 games, they're losing 2 games against top of the top talent. They're not losing to James Madison. You know
Yeah. So, you know.
what we
But
got
yeah.
next, Kev?
All right. Next up, where we want to go? We want to go Nas or the Ace?
Let's go Ace so we can
Have fun today.
we can have fun with the bouquet.
Got you. All right. So, adverse childhood experiences. It's it's something that they talk about. It kind of got a lot of light after this TED talk. This doctor in San Francisco, Dr. Nadine Harris, she did a TED talk maybe 11 years ago or so about it. And basically, there's a test where you can take where they ask you 10-question exam, yes or no, the answers, and they ask you about different childhood experiences. And if you had a bunch of adverse childhood experiences, it can have negative impacts upon your life. We'll get a little deeper into how it is, but it affects everything from, both kind of your mental health, your physical health, the way that your brain functions, in all types of things. So it was something that kind of, came up. We started talking about it the other day. We figured, maybe we'd share some of this with you, talk about some of childhood experiences and how, I guess, ways in which we can do to help our community and ourselves.
So I'll just go over what the 10 are, and then we can share our scores. So the 10 questions, they're broken up into 3 subjects with subtopics. The first one is abuse, and then under abuse is physical abuse, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. And remember, we are talking about a child being exposed to these things. Some of them, some of these things, the exposure is just actually happening to them, but in some instances, the exposure is them being in the environment where it's taking place. The next section is neglect, and under neglect is physical neglect and emotional neglect. And the last 5 fall under the section called household dysfunction, where it speaks about witnessing domestic violence, substance abuse, mental illness, incarcerated relatives, and parental separation or divorce.
Kev, you took it first.
You
took it. You took this a while ago.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about this until yesterday.
Yeah, I probably took it 10, 11 years ago. Probably, maybe even longer.
Got to revisit it.
I got to revisit my trauma. Yeah, it was interesting, and I took it. My score was like on the cusp from a 3/4, and and like I think 4. If you have a 4, you in the danger zone. If you got like 5, 6, you
need help.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
statistically.
Yeah, I was about to say, because our
yeah.
producers over there chuckling. He'd be like, "Kev, you passed." So, but based upon the data, they would say children who have a score of 4 or more statistically has shown to have more adverse effects through adulthood on their physiological, mental, and even physical health. That's not to say if it's under 4, you're all in the clear, or if you're over 4, that it is 100% guaranteed. But this is just based on research. And the initial study interviewed a little bit over 17,000 adults.
Right.
And the majority of these adults were white. So we're not talking about a ethnic approach, or this is just something that happens in the hood. So I just wanted to put those things out there.
Yeah, and life expectations, the higher the score, life expectations could be like 20 years less.
Yeah.
Suicidal ideations, poor health outcomes, or all types of things. You know, like lifestyle choices. So it's definitely something. It's me as a person that always loves data and kind of looking at things. I always found it interesting. But yeah, when you sit back and you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, I did experience those things. And I think sometimes it's you never know. Well, as children, the experiences that we have, we just think, oh, those are just my experiences, but we never really think about the long term impact of them. You know, like I would like growing up, I never thought much about no one telling me they love me. You know, my parents was born in the 20s. That's the silent generation, and I caught the silent treatment for the most part. And you know, I knew I wanted to be told I was loved. I guess. Yeah, I wasn't, you know, when you're young, you don't necessarily know if you loved or not. Like you think you do, you think, but you're not sure. I'm not hearing it. I'm seeing TV. I see people say those types of things. But yeah, you know, those things have impact. You know, and then we push it forward. We go forward, and now, as we parent, we're like, yo, I love you, son. I love like,
Yeah.
we're overly effusive.
So it was brought to my attention. Shout out to Dr. Marsha Gale Davis in conversation with me. She's been working with me on my health journey to lose weight and just work on those internal numbers, because we definitely at the age where it's those internal numbers that can tell you more. Like it's like you could look good and be vain if you want to, but inside you could be dying quickly. And she had brought it up, and so in looking at it, definitely from the household dysfunction, the parental separation or divorce. But one thing under there that really stuck with me is in the description, it mentions the separation from a parent by either divorce, death, or abandonment. And then so then for me, I'm like, wow, I experienced divorce, but then I also experienced abandonment. So it was like, is that one a two? Like, I mean, because like I literally remember my parents separating and being told, hey, this is something between me and your mom. You and I are good. But then he was out the picture regarding me. And then the other one that I marked was emotional neglect, but I think it's built off of what you was just saying, Kev, and your parents being born in the 20s. My parents were born in the early 40s. I didn't hear terms like emotional wellness, emotional intelligence. So when I'm going through things, and you know, this is my mic sounds nice, and we do our best to share our journeys that hopefully it helps somebody else. Um, I was never asked how I felt about my parents separating and being divorced. I don't recall having an emotional conversation about it until after I graduated college, and they separated when I was starting middle school.
Wow.
So I marked that, but it wasn't. I didn't view it as emotional neglect with intention. I just believe that that generation, it was about food, shelter, clothing. You good? Keep it moving. So yeah,
Yeah, it's funny you say that because my mom was a social worker, and nevertheless, it was just like, yeah, keep it pushing. The only one time where she did kind of push me into my social emotional health was you know, my father who drank. Like the whole side of my father's family, they like to drink. Not raging, no beatings, no things like that. As a sense of alcohol, but just every day, regularly, you know, and you get the bad things that come with drinking, you know, DUIs and all types of other stuff. And at one point, she made me go to Al-Anon meetings, and I was like, "This is the
That was
worst."
you said that was the therapist and your mom. I
Yeah,
remember one time you told me that.
yeah. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is the worst."
So what was it for you, eh?
I was a 4.5. Uh, so that's why I laughed. Uh,
Stove.
it says, well, 4 out of 5. It said 4 out of 10, but it says
Yeah.
4-5 is
Yeah.
moderate to elevated risk. And like some of the questions were even like yes to me, but the way they're specifically asked,
You're on the cusp.
you know, like I don't understand like the sexual abuse question. it's like someone 5 years older than you. Like, why does that matter? But that changes the question. Um,
Well, I think in
th-
part of it is, in some instances, depending on age, that 5 represents legal, but also the 5-year gap denotes a power thing versus somebody your age, and
Peers
both
experimenting.
peers experimenting. So that was the reason why, not to take away from you processing it the way that it did, but you had to put that there because so much of that is attached to power, and oftentimes that age difference will denote a power shift.
yeah, but
But
being
if it's
bigger
not,
than somebody
yeah,
is
but I
off
feel like,
this,
I mean,
But anyway,
yeah,
uh,
but I definitely get you. Like if it's not a consensual, if it's not a thing, if you look back, you're like, I really wasn't able to consent. It was just kids doing things, and the person was older than me. I get you. I would count it.
Yeah.
yeah, and then there's other stuff that uh, did a parent or other adult in the household often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you? And for me, the answer is yes, depending on my age. Like under 10, the answer to that is yes. Over 10, my mother wasn't beating me when I was over 10.
I think the answer is yes. Then,
I was
like
about
if
to
it was happening
I
to
was
you,
about to say, based upon the focus of this study, based on what you just said, it was a yes.
But it says often.
But
but
no,
if you
but
experience it, it could be a period. Like I could have been beat for a year. I could be 18 years old, but I could
Yeah.
only been beat for a year. Like that's kind of
The only reason I said yes to that question is because it says or left you with marks. And that did happen. So I was able to say yes to that question. You know,
yeah.
But then there was some other questions that it was just like weird for me. Like my number could be higher than 4. Like if I were to talk to a professional, because I could be like, I said no, but I said no because
Yeah.
of the specific way the question was answered. So, I think it's interesting. And it's funny because it pointed out the extremes for me. Like some of the things like were so bad, and the other things like, did you ever not feel loved? And it was like, no, I felt loved as can be. You know what I mean? So it's like the dichotomy of
It's like I felt love while I was ducking.
but
essentially, yes.
it's interesting that you say that, because sometimes we know that as not so much as children, but we know like as adults, we've all had people, both men and women, who've been in abusive relationships and they feel loved.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it also be interesting, um,
He said, I'm the spouse that comes back.
and of course, see, but I think that
We're just joking, world.
I know, I know
Yeah,
exactly. So, but I'm just saying, like, we're engaging with this discussion, and for Aaron and I, even you, Kev, we're looking at it present day. We're all 57. I wonder what was the average age of the adults in the initial study, because I think the further you live past this period does impact how we view it.
Yeah.
But I also understand the way that is being presented, in the sense that it's kind of taking us back to how we was processing. Like, so for me, how did I process that at an 11-year-old, which I probably didn't fully process it, which was part of the problem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but if I'm looking at it now, in the grand scheme of things, it's like I'm okay. And it wasn't really and because we've grown, where we've also heard and seen and watch stories that are so egregious that it's like, okay, I thought I was catching it till I heard about your family. Then it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and that puts it in perspective. And honestly, if we've been old enough where we've been able to have certain reconciliation type conversations with our parents, I think it makes you look at it different. You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. Both of my parents are dead, but I also am old enough now where I could see what my parents didn't receive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's
Mm.
like I can imagine my dad's ACE score might have been off the charts. You know, so because the whole physical abuse, where it's like, okay, he didn't hit me, but I shared the bed with one of my brothers who my dad would come home. My dad drove for transit. So my dad would come home in the middle of the night, tap me on the shoulder for me to get out the bed, start swinging on my other brother, waking him up while beating him. And then when he finished, I had to then go and get back in the bed next to a brother who had got beaten. I personally feel in my heart of hearts now, that's
Yeah.
abuse.
Yeah. I mean, you were
Yeah.
essentially beat. Like you
Exactly. So, which would bring me to a 3. So, you know, so hey, you're not alone. So we
Yeah.
all are,
No,
we
no,
all
no, no.
we
Yeah.
we're all on the cusp, which all made the Lu-Fi glue. Because I always felt that we were a band of misfits that
Yeah.
fit. So
Yeah.
You know, and one of the things that we didn't mention is one of the things about this, when you have as a child, like you're young, your brain is still developing neural pathways and all these things.
yes.
And the woman in the TED Talk, she talked about, like, imagine if you go to fight a bear. When you go to fight a bear, you get this rush of adrenaline, and you know, speeds up your heart rate. It gets you ready. You either going to fight this bear or you're going to run away. But it also has to cut off your thinking. It has to cut off your cognitive thinking, so you're no longer thinking. Because if you're thinking, you're gonna, you know, of course you're gonna be like, I can't beat this bear.
Yeah.
So
If you're thinking, you're sinking.
right. So imagine each time you have one of these bad experiences, you get this rush of adrenaline and it cuts off your thinking. As a child, you're creating these neural pathways, and this is now the way that you function. As a longtime educator, I've dealt with so many kids where you tell them something simple and they fly off the handle and they ready to fight you. And at first, that's how I came to this. I didn't really understand what was going on, but now I get it. If you're living in that fight and flight mode, anything
Yeah.
can you know, sometimes me telling you to sit down, sometimes if I'm yelling at you because you came to my class late and you missing
Yep.
part of the lesson, like all of these things can just throw them off for young people. And too often we don't really offer the support within the schools.
Especially if they don't like being yelled at. They hear yelling at home and it's
Yeah.
a trigger for them. And then you respond to them by yelling at them because they're so dysfunctional that it brings that out to the adult.
Yeah.
And even the vitriol may not be behind it, but the kid processes it the same way. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
When I started, and you know, I was young, 25 or so when I started teaching, and I thought in my head, I said, you know what, the boys are going to probably be a problem, but dealing with the girls will probably be easier. Oh, was I wrong? Oh, was I wrong?
Yeah.
The girls would give me the business.
Yeah, man.
The business, probably because of these adverse childhood experiences. No man can. I remember I had one kid, she was like, yo, you're not going to talk to me. My father don't talk to me that way. And I don't know, this one day, maybe my adverse childhood experiences kicked in because we went at each other. I'm giving her the business. The security guard takes her out my classroom. I'm following her. Then the other security guard's like, yo, Mr. Williams, go back. Mr. Williams, go back. Mr. Williams, go back. I'm giving her the business.
Yeah.
And I
So
walked out. I walked
remember-
back into my classroom and the kids started singing. I walked back in the classroom. They was like, what's my blank and name? Mr. Williams. They better get it right. But I was crying. And me and the young lady are good. I bumped into the woman. She came up, hugged me as an adult, like, oh, so happy to see me. So, you know, we all good. But, you know,
as an adult now, when I see young ladies, and the pressures, and I feel bad for young men too, But I guess because I'm of that tribe, I understand. But like even young women who are pretty and what that can do, that can set your whole trajectory in life just because you're a pretty young woman, or you're not a pretty young woman, or technically pretty. You know what I mean.
They both could
These
be an ace score.
Yeah,
yeah yeah man. Like
that's true. That needs to go into the score because that's a
I mean
trauma.
that's a real
That's a
thing, man.
trauma in itself in our community.
I
And
see.
see, and to build on your point, then to become physically developed beyond your mental,
Mhm.
man. Because let's keep
Yeah.
it a buck. Brothers don't care
Yep.
on average.
And then how are you not taught, if everyone responds to your beauty in a positive way, how do you go about not valuing that and making that your priority, because that's what you get validation from, and then you don't get to develop all these other skills that you may have. You may be the most intelligent person in the building, but you don't even get to, or you may be a great artist or whatever skills you
Yeah.
have as a human being, because your beauty is God given.
And I've
You have
also
other talents. You
I've
have other
also seen it
talents.
where a beautiful woman is smart and gets kind of downplayed. A
The
young,
intelligence does.
an
Yeah.
attractive young lady gets, yeah. I mean, it's difficult. I almost got in a fight in the street with some adults taking some kids on a trip because they were trying to talk to my 7th grader.
Yeah. I
I mean, and,
I
as you said, there is trauma both ways,
yep.
because there's also trauma for that young lady growing up where her beauty is never recognized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I
And she's
recall.
in competition with her peers.
I recall. I mean, my daughter's the same complexion as me, and she's early to mid 30s. And there was a season that honestly, watching BET with her would be traumatic, because we can look back now. I mean, like, colorism is real, and there was seasons that light was right and
Hmm.
dark was sparse,
Yeah.
but and then for the brothers, you had New York Undercover come in, and we're like, we made it, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Now
it,
Wesley
it's
Snipes and people like that changed the paradigm, because
But
before that it was the Albie Shore,
it was rough.
uh
It was like, yo,
El DeBarge, that stuff, the good hair. I lived that life. I lived that life in my household where people out and out value that.
yeah,
when I was teaching, I had a student who was dark skinned, and people used to make fun of this young woman. And now they definitely would not. Now it's a beautiful young lady, a beauty executive in the industry. And it's interesting because I'm remembering 6th grade how people would treat her, and then after she graduates, high school, and just later on looking at her, it's like, oh my God, she's beautiful. And I'm like,
yeah.
kind of laughing at the
You're like,
situation.
yeah, you should have been a friend 6 years ago, dummy. Now
Yeah.
you outside. But yeah, you know. But yeah, so this was a conversation. We just wanted to reflect on health. Hopefully you'll take the time to just really do some reflection as the year
And
comes
also
to a
think about, one,
close.
take the test, because the test
You
is
know,
out there.
yeah, take the test. It's out there, but you think about it. We're heading into the new year, and everybody starts to make resolutions. And sometimes we get down on ourselves when certain things don't easily come the way we want it to do. And there's a difference between explanation and justification. And I think sometimes we don't take the time to really understand ourselves and how some of these things land on us. For some people, it could be overeating. For some people, it could be drinking. For some people, it could be how you
Drugs, it
eat,
could be, yeah.
or emotional detachment. Like, so it shows up differently in different seasons for different reasons. And so it was really insightful. So,
Just
You know,
because you
it,
yeah, and just because you don't unpack it doesn't mean you're not dealing with it.
It-
So a lot of people can be like, "Hey, that ain't me," or "I'm doing just fine." You don't know how your past is affecting you right now unless you go and confront it. And if there's really no problem, then there should be no concern about confronting it. And as I always say about therapy, people always have a problem with therapy. And I say the worst that could happen is that you are right where you are. The best thing that could happen is that you find some healing and peace. And those are stigmas that we need to get over, especially as Black men.
you know,
That's a
it,
whole
it,
nother
it,
show.
absolutely. It reminds me of this James Baldwin quote where he's talking about just kind of the Black or the Negro experience. And he says, no one leaves Mississippi. Perhaps it's like home isn't a place, but it's an irrevocable condition.
Yo,
And,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it can be if you don't handle
what better way to end it than with the words from Uncle Jimmy?
it.
And Uncle
Stop.
Jimmy coming from Reggie Jacks.
See, I could read.
Ha, ha! Where we going?
Where we going? Oh, well, we giving our bouquet.
NAS. NAS. NAS.
NAS. So Nas and DJ Premier came out with a new album, Light Years. It's great to finally have, like, this year. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about De La Soul coming back. We know Nas and the work that Nas has been doing, just kind of bringing back some of the old school hip hop in nice and refreshing ways. So he came out with this album. It's a great album. Two legends in the industry working together, which is fantastic. And it came to us. We started thinking about the song Bouquet.
Well, before we get there, we wanted to give some thoughts just about the album
Okay.
overall.
Okay.
What it jumped out to you, A? But we are gonna lean into Bouquets heavy. So
Bro, I love Bouquet. I loved the first thing I loved about the album is that there are times when artists get together and they make a a body of work and they do what the project calls for. And I think Premier and Nas both did that, which means giving for the other. And for my entire life, I could always say, you know what, that's a Premier beat. And I could always tell it was a Premier beat. And I can tell Premier produced this album, but it's mainly because of the sample cuts from records and the actual cutting up of stuff to make a chorus. But in terms of the production, while it's, I would say, Premier adjacent, but it's not all boom bap like Premier is known for. It's like he did what this project needed, and because of that, I absolutely loved it. My favorite song on the album is Nasty Esco and Nasir, where Nas rhymes as Nasty Nas, he rhymes as Esco, then he rhymes as himself Nasir, and the embodiment of who he was at those times, and then the conflict that they have with each other. Um, it's a really well done song, and you laugh.
I'm laughing because finish your thought. I'm laughing because you was always my man.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I love you more than right now. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's a really amazing song, and I don't want to. It's almost like I don't want to. If you've never heard the song, I don't even want to tell you how it's the resolution, almost like a movie, because even the way he resolves the song is in a good way. So no, I love that. I love My Life Is Real, New York State of Mind, Part 3. It's just so many good songs on this album. It's like really well done job, Nas and Premier. I'm happy for them. Bouquet, you gotta love it. And the last thing I'll say about Nas, and I think only other person that I really feel does this on a consistent basis is Jay-Z, where they are always in a creative space. And sometimes that means they take chances and it may not work. And sometimes they take chances and they hit home runs. Nas is in his bag. He's in his creative bag on this. So well done. He did a song called Sons. So he got a song about daughters. He got a song about sons now. And then he got Bouquet for the ladies. He got a song. Kevin, the man mentioned Chino in what's the name of that song? The song about graffiti artists.
Yeah, I'm about to say
writers.
So don't give me a homework assignment if you're gonna say everything.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying
whatever.
He's in his creative bag. He's in a creative bag.
So that I'm not so I'm not repeating everything. But one
sorry, bro.
That's all good. That's all. I'm just messing with you. I am loving when an artist is their age. And Nas's pen is prolific. Nasty Esco Nasir is a song that will be studied. That song is amazing. Not for the reasons of like, oh, it's hip hop, it's going to be a banger. And so if you're going to it with that, no. But if you are talking about a culture that is 52 years old and you want to use Nas as an example of what can happen if we have faith to allow these young artists today to grow up, you can then get a Nasty Esco Nasir. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm listening to it like, oh, I like that one at that stage because that was where I was at that time. Beautifully done. The song you were talking about, Writers. Like I had to listen to that 2 times to be like, wait a second. He just did a whole song about graffiti artists.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, the sons to young kings, the balance, the daughters, like that. It was definitely I love the album. It's the 7th one of the whole Mass Appeal series. That what a great way to cap it. And yeah, Nas's pen is there, but we are gonna dive really into Bouquet, which is a track that he did as a love letter, a thank you, giving Bouquet to all of the women that he could mention. And before people want to start picking it apart, there is a lyric at the end where he says, whoever I ain't named, I still love you for life.
Yep.
It is impossible. Well, this is supposed to mention every single woman,
female artist
who is an MC. But I dare you to find another song that mentions rhythmically as well and as many as he did.
And Tim, I could, guessing, because I started to do it, then I said, oh, there's too many. But guessing, I would say he named over 50 female artists.
The number is
on that
80.
song.
The number is 80. Huh? It's like 80.
See?
And,
like 80. And he does that.
And think about it. He does more than just artists.
There you go.
He does more than he talks about Faith Newman, which I guess, we could bring up Faith Newman when we get to our other conversation in the next episode about Win and some other stuff. But but like he mentions people that were just part of the industry that helped. The woman that signed him to A&R for Def Jam.
Yeah.
And all of these different people. One of the things that I enjoyed is in looking at the reactions of some of the other artists who were mentioned, and they were on social media just being excited. Yo, Nas mentioned me. I'm so happy. I started crying and all of these other things. Women who have been forgotten. Like we forget so much about hip hop right now. We only think about the stars, and the fact that he did that and kind of helped to elevate them. I really appreciate it. As far as the whole album is concerned, I didn't give the whole album a real good listen. I'm gonna be honest, and I know it's sacrilege, so don't fight Reggie Jacks. When I first listened, I was a little disappointed. The day it came out, I started listening to it, and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting beat wise, whatever. The rhymes are always hot, but the beats weren't really moving me at that point in time. Could have just been where I was, and I never really got back to it.
Some people online, there was some things online that sentiment. I read that sentiment in a number of places, and then people were firing back. But that's also another thing that, sometimes we all are prone to allow the noise
Yeah,
to deter us from going in. And I think you explain Premier's artistry and in some spaces adjustment perfectly, because this wasn't Gangstar Premier. This wasn't, this wasn't Nas's like Premier.
yeah,
That it's like, just like we're dealing with a 50-plus-year-old Nas, Premier is a year or two older than us.
Yeah. And I, the thing was, I approached it in a way in which I don't usually approach art that way. My thing is accept. So like whatever is listed, I'm gonna just listen to what it is and not have expectations. So I knew, because I was doing that, which is why I kind of walked away from it. I got to get back to
and you know what, Kev, you don't feel bad about it, because one, that's the reaction I had at first. Because as much as I know better as an artist, when I get excited about art, sometimes I have expectations. So you tell me Premier and Nas are getting together, I'm kind of thinking a part two of the first album, and that's not what this is. This is almost a love letter to every, even he even shouts out on this album Big L and Trugoy and all the people, that he Mass Appeal did stuff this year. So it is kind of a love letter to hip hop, to be honest with you, and hip hop culture. I will say this is why I did learn this lesson, when I would do album reviews back in the day. You gotta listen more than once to really, really appreciate music. Almost like 4 times before you can really settle in and say, I have a feeling about this piece of art. Because I had that initial feeling you had, Kevin. So,
but you know what? Hey, thank you for saying that about the how you have to listen to it, because the way that we get art reviewed now, albums reviewed, album comes out 12:01. The review is there by the morning.
Yeah,
and you can't listen to it. And we think about how we listen to music. Like, hey, like we've done album reviews. How you get the album review a month, 6 weeks before the album is even released. You have time to live with it.
It's not, you don't even, the artwork for the
there is no artwork.
There is no artwork.
But before bouncing back to Bouquet, for those who, if you listen to Nasty Esco Nasir, it will then change how you view your expectations for Premier's production, because in the back and forth, there's a critique of boom bap that then would align that you can't have the whole album being boom bap, because then that would be a Nasty Nas album. Yeah. So I would just leave it there. But with the beauty of Bouquet is that he literally went from yesteryear to today. Like, I mean, and I feel like to me, Nas is positioning himself truly as a stakeholder and elder and lover of hip hop. So it goes beyond, I'm just shouting out who my fans are. Yes, there were certain people where there was a little extra line there. So he talked about Rhapsody and Eve and Lyrical Killers. And then, of course, there's a full bar to Lauryn Hill, because there's a history that's there. But then he's shouting out the Sexy Reds and other people and the Lottos, and people be like, why would you do that? And the Glorilla. But it's like, yo, if I am positioning myself as a lover of hip hop, if I don't love you, who's going to love you?
Yeah. Even
and
the
then
JJ Fad, you
yeah,
could when
that,
be on here.
all of that, and
Yep.
and so for me, when I was listening to the song and reading the song, it made me just think about, especially teaching, I've been really focusing on women MCs. And so there was some that wasn't on the song that I was jotting down in preparation, not to say anything to throw shade at the song. It would just be like, oh, if I had an opportunity to add on to that next verse, then I would lift up ladies like Chica, Tierra Whack, Lil Sims, a young lady named She Real, who has a whole album called I Don't Rap About My P. No Name. One
Oh,
of my
yeah.
one of my students, Michaela Shania, and this young sister named Linnell Grant. And the list goes on and on. Because one of the things I do with my class is I give them a project called Title IX and Rhyme. And they have to put together a concert featuring 4 women MCs, and we don't trap ourselves into what would be popping or popular, just 4 that would be on stage that would be imaginative and creative. And doing that exercise, we always unearth women that we hadn't heard about. So I just wanted to shout that out. So that was my bouquet extended, not that taking anything away from the dozen roses that Nas laid out. That's just my number 13.
Yeah, no, I well done to Nas. It's important because of the misogyny and patriarchy that hip hop falls under. You know,
Constantly.
it's been a male genre, or considered a male genre, even though women have been there from the very beginning. But that's not been the perception. Women have had to come through. We talked about this yesterday. It's been really 15 years that women have been on this run, starting with Nicki. But in the last 5 years, women have probably been, they're running the game right now. And it's been so many of them, so many different artists from so many different states. And it's almost like, it's sad to say, because rap is, over 50 years old, but women have like truly arrived. I will say to the audience, pay attention to the fact that a lot of women come in hypersexualized, but you'll notice that over time, those same women become less, and not that their sexuality goes away or sexual subject matter goes away, but it's less and less. And I think that speaks to it. Us as men can consider that speaks to female MCs feeling like they have to do certain things to appeal in the very beginning, or to garner attention. And once they've established themselves, when it's really up to them, when they have some autonomy, they're not doing that, not as much. So my hope is that trend continues, and that because we have so many women coming in the game, that doesn't have to be a avenue to get attention. If you can spit, you can spit, male or female.
Yep. And maybe if we begin to stop marketing from a misogynistic, objectifying standpoint, you would have a wider variety, because you're going to have some who's going to choose to stay in that hypersexual lane. Fine. Just like you
Yeah.
got some, they going to always, some brothers going to rhyme about they gun, and they going to rhyme like they broke, no matter
Yeah.
how much money they get. And so
Pusha T is still selling crack in 2025.
without a doubt. I mean, yo, there's no greater example of that.
Yeah.
than
like I
that
said,
one. Yeah.
and like I always say, man, it's not the 50 cents that's the problem. It's the 75 cents. It's the $1.50s. It's the
$10.
$2 and
It's the 5
75
cents.
cents after him that make the situation a problem.
Yep.
Whenever we have people that come behind, don't have anything else to say, have anything else to add to the conversation.
Yep.
You know, that's the problem. Because if you add to the conversation, even if it's a negative thing, in art, there's a place for it because that allows for critique, that allows for comparison and juxtaposition and all the things that you do in the classroom, Tim, for you to be able to take two songs, one that might be extremely negative,
Yeah.
you know, and then you put it up against the Lupe fiasco, for example.
Yeah.
So all art has its place.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, the truth of the matter is I feel like, and I mean, it's not to single her out, but she had a couple of popular songs that were very sexualized. You can't talk about sex. You can't talk about Sexy Red and not talk about how they started breaking songs in the South at strip clubs as opposed to regular clubs. So it's like, yo, like you can't celebrate Make It Rain and then get on Sexy Red like she just popped out of a spaceship and came with that. That is like,
I was,
bro, come on.
You know, Tim, now that you said it, I was having a conversation about about artists and the influence that the industry has on it. And I had to remind a friend of ours that was a former music executive, like, look, I was with y'all. I was going out to the clubs. I was doing things in the office with you. And I know that they always wanted to be an adult club entertainment song on every album. You demanded there be one. And, you know, it wasn't necessarily the artist was like, I had to do this. If the artist wasn't like that, it would be the A&R, they would be pushing to make sure you have something beat-wise, something with that bounce that would work in that particular area. So it's not, you know, if you're not in the industry, if you're not around the industry, like you might think that is, that's a fact. That's how it gets down.
Yeah, that's the formula. So it's like don't act like that wasn't in place.
Yeah, and it makes me think about Kev, how, and you know, this is your point. So, you know, I would want you to rock on it. How you talked about Scarlett and her journey to the public, and what was, you know,
we're gonna have another show. We was just starting our bouquets. Now you're gonna make me. I don't even cuss you.
Because Tim brought us the Scarlett.
Go ahead.
Yes, Tim brought us the Scarlett through her poetry, and it's like, yo, this is amazing. And then we saw Scarlett at the LL joint, and it was like, yo, right? Was she at the LL or did we see Scarlett? I saw Scarlett someplace. And
I think it was with you and A.
Okay.
I brought her to you like, yo, this is an amazing young poet.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the next minute, you know, it's like
she out there with Tim stomping down, you know, like They turned her into the hood.
Being handled by who? Grown men.
Grown men. Yeah. They turned her into young MA.
And not even bad grown men. Which is the worst part.
Yeah.
Because I would say that he's an icon who I don't think had bad intentions, but that wasn't the best result. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And Scarlett got shouted out in
she did
in bouquets.
I was happy
because you know Nas gonna recognize bars.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. All right, so we're gonna put a bouquet on that.
All right. So now it's time for the Robinson Report. We're gonna talk about those things that are giving us life or making me mad. I'm not mad today. It's all about the ladies today. It's giving season. I'm giving. I'm giving out props.
Yeah.
You're not mad.
I'm not mad. Well, I'll stay mad, but I'm giving out
You're
props.
That's half the fun. If you being mad,
I could always find an angry angle.
That feels so good. That's for me and Tim.
That feels so good.
That's not for you.
That's a fact.
My man said, "Your Robinson Report can't be life giving." So it's us speaking life, and then Reggie Jack's gotta be. We need the drop for this. Can't be life. This can't be love. This can't be us. There gotta be more.
So now, go ahead, Kev. Do your thing.
I think I did this before, but since we're talking about women in hip hop, back in October, my wife and I went to an event called Passing the Crown at Lincoln Center, and it was a all female orchestra featuring MC Light and Rhapsody, and they performed. Also, the DJ was DJ Pearly. She won the DMC National Championship DJ for 22, I think 21 and 22. And it was just an amazing fight. Dancers, orchestra, live band, even people signing were women, and it was just a tremendous hip hop event. And it was like featuring MC Light, and it was like kind of passing the crown to Rhapsody. So that was a great event. I know it's been a couple other spots across the country. That was a wonderful event in October. And then the other thing, since we're talking about childhood trauma, there is this artist called The Lex Marie. Check her out on Instagram, The Lex Marie. And she has some art out where basically she has this art piece called Because I Love You. And she took a belt and she just beat the canvas over and over and over and over. And there's all types of markings on it. And the piece is, the famous phrase of "I'm beating you because I love you." And then she has other pieces where she put then she did another piece where she put all these different belts together and kind of put them together as one art piece. She took another thing where she took pencils and she made like an AR-15 out of pencils.
So
the first piece with the belt smacking against canvas, did the belt have paint or just as the indentations on the canvas?
It looked like it was just the indentations.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
Yeah, it's good. The Lex Marie. She has both a website and that's her Instagram. And if you look her up on Instagram, you'll see other people, and there's videos of her actually beating the canvas and some other things. It's good. Good work.
I apologize for the fool cutting the grass in the background.
Doing his job.
Yeah. But
y'all got grass in December? My man's making
that's what I'm saying, man. We all done. Like
my man's making that money.
Yo, listen, man.
No, he's robbing. No, he's robbing the households who grass ain't grown in the month.
He's like, listen,
Christmas.
I'm about to say I need a check before the end of the year. So I'm out there cutting.
Yeah.
That's the sound of it hitting dirt.
Yeah. Basically. So let me go. And then I can mute while Tim talks. So you ain't gotta hear that. But my Robinson report is a shocker. And I'm watching TV last night after I watched Jake Paul get knocked out by Anthony Joshua. After I watched Jake Paul get knocked out by Anthony Joshua.
I was about to say that could be your Robinson report, but no,
for real. Then Jake Paul in his interview spits out some blood. It's like, yeah, I think my jaw's broke.
He got a broken jaw.
Yeah,
he got caught. He got caught flush.
He got caught. And then the worst part, Kev, is when he got caught, he's on the ground and he's like, woo, like he was a spectator, watching someone, and you're like, woo.
Yeah, his body language was literally like he was commentating from the front row.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, what a punch!
Yeah,
it's like, bro,
go look that up. He was like, ooh, like he even makes this.
I didn't watch the fight. I saw the clips on IG. So his face goes like, it's like, oh,
yeah. He's on the ground, Kevin, with his legs sprawled out against the thing. He's like, ooh, like he caught me.
Oh, stop! I'm seeing the picture.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, that brother got punched. He got punched from competitor to commentator. I ain't never seen that before.
He caught him flush on the chin. Now, the only reason I didn't, and this ain't my Robinson report, but the only reason I didn't get on Jake Paul is because I work with a very good friend of mine who used to do Golden Gloves in New York. And he always told me, if you put on the gloves, you got to respect the man. And I remember, I don't like Jake Paul and his brother too much, but that man got in the ring with a 6'8", two-time pro boxing champion, all respect due. You know what I mean?
Because I ain't
Anyway,
doing it.
yeah. So after that, in my feed is Dave Chappelle on Netflix. What?
Stuff.
What is this? Dave Chappelle dropped a surprise show with no announcement called the Unstoppable N-Word Act. And
Really?
yes. And I saw Dave Chappelle. When did I see him, Kev? A year and a half ago?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a year and a half ago. Part of that show is in this show. But it's an amazing commentary because he discusses what's going on in the world right now. He discusses his trip to Saudi Arabia. He discusses our perspective on how to handle the world and the world that we live in. Dave Chappelle, for me, has gotten to the point where I don't even though I love the comedy, I'm more interested in his brain and the way that he thinks, and even when I don't agree with him, he's thought provoking. And there's far too many people. There's far too few people in the world right now who are really thought provoking. If you really think about it, everybody's talking. Everybody has something to say. It's not really adding to the conversation, and we need those people who are thought provoking. So I would say watch Dave Chappelle's comedy special. Enjoy it for the comedy, but really consider the themes that he's talking about. The fact that he compared Jack Johnson and Sean Puffy Combs and the Mann Act, and why the Mann Act was created with Jack Johnson. He really does some good work, while not giving people passes for their bad behavior. He really makes people think. So check that out, y'all.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So for me, I've really been in my mind just kind of grappling with and wanting to do some research, like really wanting to focus on lyrics, and not lyrics for the sake of songs, but just like understanding a bar in the sense of we all know musically bar is that 4 count measured by tempo and the like. But beyond that, there is this informal measurement of a bar that's based on impact, where it's like, oh, that's a bar.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to begin to delve into that. There's this brother on IG, he's on TikTok as well, brother named Ernie. Had a chance to meet him virtually online, but his handle is Crazy Bars I've Heard. And all he does is he'll get on and say crazy bars I've heard, and then it will just go to whatever clip of somebody rhyming. And he has like 329,000 followers on IG, and he started doing this around the pandemic. And so him and I
We're
had,
gonna put it. We're gonna put it
yeah,
his link in the
yeah. So
in
so
our
him
description.
him him and I had a conversation because I reached out to him on IG. Really great dude, is an MC himself, and along those lines, big up to Coast Contra, and they're continuing to do things.
Mm-hmm.
But Eric Jamal has started to do some solo stuff. So I mean, Coast Contra is still together,
Okay.
but
Don't
that
scare
brother,
me.
yeah, but that brother Eric Jamal, it's like, yo, his pen, like as an MC, I love when another MC could just make me giddy. Like his pen is that nice. But for the crew, because I don't want people to get scared to be like Coast Contra is gone. The latest Coast Contra joint is called It's All Happening. It's like 7.5 minutes. They all go in. Like, so I just love the way that their lyrics sharpen each other. So that's my 2 Port Robinson report. Shout out to my brother Ernie for crazy bars I've heard. and then Eric Jamal, who's coming out with merch and coming out with some of his own music, and to Coast Contra. So they all seem to be together. So it's not you doing this and messing up the crew. So yeah.
And next show, Tim is gonna share some of his merch
Yep. Yeah. That's
uh,
gonna be the next show.
online.
Yep. Definitely.
That's what's up.
Yep, yep. And you know what it is, brothers?
It's that
That's
time.
another one.
It's
That's
another,
another
one.
one.
Yeah.
Before we bounce, I want to wish my man, Mr. Carter, a happy birthday.
Yes,
Which is-
I want to
which is
wish my
tomorrow.
mother happy birthday
Yeah.
today.
His birthday is December 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's birthday is today.
Oh,
All right. Hey,
all right.
happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And- oh, and I need to give a disclaimer. I've never been more wrong on this show ever in my life. I said that, and this goes to memory, and I guess all box stores look alike. But my wife has been boycotting Target also, and I guess I've been going by myself.
Yeah. Shout out to Michelle, aka Mrs. Seagrams.
So
I'm a pop a bottle to you, sis.
Oh,
I'll just say it didn't go over well that I misspoke.
stuff. Now we in therapy.
But this is, he got to check a box. But see, this is what we do on My Mic Sounds Nice. When we mess up, we come back and we keep it a buck. So, like, for real, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I love you even more for that. But we all know your wife.
Yeah.
I know that conversation was like, what?
I'm not saying nothing, man.
It's
Let's
like,
just-
here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? What?
Oh,
Who goes to Target? Ooh, that, like, boom.
oh, I know that was hilarious. I know that was hilarious.
My man was like, I didn't realize I was going by myself. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yo, and it only makes it funny, because you was so 10 toes down in your argument. Which is still your argument. No, I'm about to say, which is still your argument. But you was like, yo, me and my wife went there. We got gift cards. We got we team Red Dot pretty much. Yo, oh my goodness.
Yo, thank you.
See,
Thank
this
you
is
for
the
that.
unfair part about Luke 5, man. Because right now I say y'all are doing me dirty.
I was about to say, is Michelle home? Could she come in the room and say hello as we leave?
I didn't guess the spirits. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's hilarious.
my
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's all right. So, yeah.
it's all right. It's cool.
Yeah.
now you're like poor Negro child. You be all right.
Yeah, be like, Kev, this is traumatic for your boy.
Yo, man.
Like, ease up.
Yo,
Ease up.
yo, why you crying? I ain't hit you that hard.
But hold on. But hey, what prompted the discussion?
Talking about the show and saying,
okay.
like, saying what I was saying and
Yeah,
the debate that
Got
we
you.
was having.
got you.
Like, no, I don't feel that way. Anyway,
Hilarious.
That's what's up.
yeah, that's another show.
That's another show. But again,
Yo.
shout out to all the celebrations, birthdays, holidays.
All that good stuff. Enjoy your sports weekend. For those who are attached to education, have a wonderful break. And also, we know that this time of year is not the best of times for a lot of people for
Yes.
different experiences. And so, our hearts, our well thoughts, our prayers go out to you, especially to anyone who has lost a loved one in 2025, where this is the first holiday season without that individual. I've experienced that. It's rough. It never feels the same. There is no going back to a normal. You just find ways to move forward. But in the beginning, it's going to be rough, and so just know that we are thinking about you all as well.
Ditto, definitely.
Yes, well,
Definitely.
well said. All right.
Which is funny, and I'll say this real quick. I normally, the people I love that I have lost, I normally don't feel any different during the holiday season. It's never been like an emphasis for me. And today, I was adding people on my Mike Sounds Nice Instagram page, and I was just adding a bunch of people, and I came across my sister who had passed, and I just added a like instinction. I was like, oh my goodness, that was my sister. And then it made me think about my sister and my father. And I was like, wow, they're not here for this Christmas. And that's weird that you said that, Tim, because that's the first time I've ever felt like that, where like personal sadness for me regarding a holiday. Because that's not normally how I look at it, but respect. It's weird that you brought that up. While, you know, I've had that same feeling 4 hours ago, like 6 o'clock this morning.
Gotcha. So,
Yep.
That's another one. Hey, this is Tim. My mic sounds nice.
This is Kev. My mic sounds nice.
This is Aaron. My mic sounds nice. Y'all know what it is. We love y'all. Hope you love us. Peace.
Subscribe, like,
Subscribe and like. Subscribe and like.
Actually, subscribe, like, dislike, talk about us, share us, you know, all that good stuff.
And leave comments.
Yeah,
you know,
because clearly we have fun with each other. We'll have fun with you too.
Yeah, and we will read the comments and we will respond.
Yep.
So
smoke for smoke.
It won't be in vain.
Smoke for smoke.
No doubt. Peace.
Peace.